Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Investing and Trading Live. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of August, and we're having a crazy move here in the market this week. We have Target earnings today. Major move up, but declining straight after the open. It looks like we have the S&P 500 down. Most of the major markets are down here today. So some good movers on the day. Gold and silver also some good action there for depending on which direction the market is going here for you. So that being said, we want to do a quick market update today. We'll talk about some different major indexes, different stocks. We'll get into some options here today as well. Since the market is open here, it's about noontime, just after noon here, during the mid-session here. So starting off with our major stock markets, we got the S&P 500 down 0.4% on the day, which is about $1.71, currently at 441.17. So this one gapped down just ever so slightly, showed some strength right away in the morning, but declining since then. We'll check out the news in a little bit and see if there was something that kind of was a catalyst for that. So that's the S&P 500. Getting into the Dow Jones, that also down about 0.25%, currently at 348.77, which is down 8.84%. So that one also sliding with the Dow Jones, the other major market. And we kind of use the S&Ps as the gauge. But this one, same story, gapping down, showing some major strength right away, but going right down after that. We're seeing these markets continue to decline off of that supply zone that Luke and I had talked about last week in the S&P 500. The NASDAQ, which is the QQ ETF, so we're looking at the ETFs here today as always, also down on the day. Same story, gapping down, showing strength right away, but then going straight down right after that. So these major markets not looking too hot for those buy and hopers. Did I say buy and hope or buy and hold? I meant buy and hold, but we all know it's buy and hope. So that being said, we might have some volatility here today. The volatility index, which I thought I had on my chart here, which is the VIX, actually down a little bit on the day. But it is continuing to creep up slowly from the lows of July. So that one creeping up just a little bit. We might be able to see some action with some volatility on some stocks here today when we look at our options section. That's our major market movers with the indexes. Russell is also down 0.76%. Now, XME, which is the ETF for metals and mining, that's really the only one that's showing some strength other than utilities and consumer staples. And financials are barely up 1 cent, but most of them are down on the day. So not a whole lot of action there in the other major ETFs. Let's get into your metals. Gold, down on the day, about $2.69. So that being said, sliding back down towards those lows from early June. And we're going to see this probably continue to slide here. Hopefully we get some buying action here. We are low on the percent Bollinger Band with gold and in silver, so we're going to look at those for some options opportunity, especially silver since we have that demand zone down that $21 range area of demand. So that's your major gold, your major commodities as far as gold and silver. Let's get into the stock market. A big mover down. We talk every so often about BHG, Bright Health Group. It's a local company here in Minnesota. It's just continuing to slump here after their earnings last week on the 9th, which was bad for the stock. It was negative earnings as you probably expected. Just continuing to slide. They hit a high of $21, back down to a whopping $10.83. Wah, 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 wah. I wish I had some sound effects here today. But Apple finally showing a little bit of strength here today after some consolidation around the 176 to 180 mark. That is Apple on the day. Tesla, this was one of the bigger decliners on the day. Some of the major stocks aren't really that far down other than Snapchat. But Tesla down 1.86%, gapping down, showing a little bit of strength right away. I love this trading view graphic. They have Elon Musk smoking a joint that comes on your chart when you go to it. Just amazing what technology will do. Keep you entertained. Let's look at Snapchat. Oh, let's go back to Tesla. I'm sorry. Tesla, we talked about a demand zone the other day, and we are currently through that demand zone. It did not hold, so that one looking probably like it's going to probably get down to an area where we'll do some analysis around the 177.83 mark, which is going to be an area of interest. Let's see, 177 to 183. Let's just chart that out real quick because I do like that as a potential area, 177 to 183. So that being said, we have a small area of demand. I like that. So we'll wait till that gets down there and potentially have some options opportunities there. Either if low volatility is low, buying calls or selling puts. That's your Tesla market. Snapchat, just continuing to slide. Although we do have a demand zone down at the $8.71, $8.34 area. So that one on a couple major time frames here, I do potentially like it down to the $8.13 even. So this one here might be a potential buying opportunity, although Snapchat hasn't done so hot. It's been pretty much sideways for the past year or so, but not so hot from the all-time highs. So we're going to continue to monitor that. We'll check Snapchat as we get into SNAP. I'm going to put that on the options chart here, see if that's an opportunity for us here today. SNAP is the ticker symbol. All right. So that is Snapchat down pretty bigly on the day. We like to use that term bigly because it makes a lot of sense. WWE down 0.5%, and some of the major financials are also down. Intel down 2.78%. Target, now that's one that I wanted to look at here. So this was an interesting one. They had earnings this morning. It was either after market close yesterday or before market open today. I don't know. Let me see today. It was in the morning today, before market open. And they had a surprise, interesting, in earnings, up 36 cents, but a surprise negative 405 million less revenue, which is 1.61% as a surprise on the negative. So gapping up actually this morning up to $135 per share, but just plummeting ever since, even on all major time frames, just going straight down from there. Currently at 129.11, which is up about 3.25% on the day. AMC continuing to slide. We looked at that yesterday pretty extensively. We're not going to continue to look at that and beat it at dead horse because there is no need. We have Bank of America down 1.78% and Netflix down 1.5%. So those are your major your major stocks on the day that are down. Now let's go start scanning for some options opportunity. As we know, there is risk in trading. There is no investment advice here today. It's strictly for entertainment purposes only. Hopefully you get entertained by this as well. As my good friend Shaquille O'Neal says, are you not entertained? JP Morgan is the lowest on our percent Bollinger Band. Not much volatility. The volatility is pretty low on a 2 on the scale. On a 2 on the Richter scale, let's call it. Financials, ETF, 34.23. No major areas. We have a potential area of interest down at $33. Volatility is creeping up. Let's look at the option. So current price with the financials ETF, 34.23. And looking at some options opportunities, see if there's anything given there. I do not like this one for any options opportunities. We're going to pass on that one. Nothing to be talked about. There was a Snapchat that I did want to look at. Let's look at Walgreens. Walgreens coming down to a low of right around $28 per share. But this one in a major downtrend, so this is one to be careful with. Trends continue to go until they don't. So currently at 28.30, looking at the options chain, not giving crap for volatility for premium. As expected, Starbucks, hardly any volatility. The time would have been probably a couple days ago. Nordstrom, volatility creeping up a little bit. We are at the, okay, let's look at this. 1942 is current price. Wow. The 15 strikes are giving 1%. Let's go look at $15. And I actually kind of like that. There is, no, we had a demand zone lower. Demand zone right around the 12 to 14 area. The 15s are giving 1% though. For 30 days, that's a pretty big decline. We'll check and see if they have earnings coming up here. Let's mark that on our chart and go see if there's an opportunity here. Horizontal line, 15s. So this market would need to drop from current price of 1942 down to 15, 23% in 30 days. Now, I like them odds. So we will mark that and look at some potential opportunities. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow if we did decide to get into some of those. It is offering a little bit of premium. That's Nordstrom Rack. That is an interesting one there. We do have a demand zone down to 14 and 12, the $12 mark, which it's giving us only 15 cents. So that's really, 14.85 is where our break even is at. So let's continue to watch that. Let's go to the other platform, and JWM is Nordstrom. JWM, and let's see, JWN. And see if they're giving, or they have earnings coming up. Of course they do. Thursday the 24th, which is next week. 8 days away. So that being said, that might be something to watch here. We'll put a little mark on that. So Nordstrom's giving a little something. UPS. Not enough volatility. Wells Fargo probably not giving any volatility, any premium. There was one that we wanted to look at. What was it? Snapchat. Kind of a dying breed, but we're going to look at it anyways. Darn it, the premium was actually a couple weeks ago. Very low volatility with Snapchat. So really the only thing that is really looking like it's giving anything is Nordstrom's. If you feel Nordstrom's is a dying breed and you don't want to get into Nordstrom's, then that is not a trade that you want to get into. Put your own risk on these trades. This is not my recommendation. It's just entertainment purposes only. It's something to look at. That being said, that's about the opportunities here with the options market. Let's peek at the currencies just since we're here for good measure and look at our daily dimes. The euro dollar is currently in no man's land, no opportunities there. The dollar yen is a bullish bias and closing on a 4-hour chart above our 146.25 mark. No, 145.75 mark. So that one in a bullish bias, and hopefully we can get a buying opportunity back down to 145.75. Now, we do want to be buying this particular position here as an opportunity, not a recommendation. Pound dollar, currently in short bias and no action there. The Aussie dollar, this one here was a closed trade from the other week, continuing to drop in our bearish bias. And once we get a close below that 6.6425 mark, we'll look at shorting there. The dollar franc currently in a short bias and currently no action until we get up to 89.25. Aussie yen, this currently in a bullish bias And no action until, actually, the action would have been on the 23rd of August, which was not the 23rd of August, the 8th of August. That being said, we'll wait till it gets down to 93.25 if you feel like trying to get in this opportunity. New Zealand yen, also in a bullish bias, I believe. This one's very sideways, but yet bullish to be exact, and waiting down until it gets to 85.75. New Zealand dollar, I believe this one had an opportunity last week, but now we are currently in a wait-and-see mode because it is in no man's land near the 60-cent mark. And last but not least, the Aussie New Zealand, also in no man's... Oh, actually in a short bias, waiting until it gets up to the $9.25. So those are your major currency markets. So that being said, what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to check that Walgreens out if anybody wants to look at that. Make sure to give any feedback on the podcast. Make sure to subscribe and give any thoughts and any comments, especially on Spotify. You can leave comments there. Make sure to subscribe so every time, and hit the bell so every time we do a live show, which is every single day almost, you'll get a notification and you can peek at that as we go. That being said, we will most likely do 4 segments tomorrow, actually. Check out the movers for the day. We're going to continue to monitor Target with that volatility and with that big move here today, gapping up 6%, dropping straight down. We'll see where that closes. We'll recap the closes on the day and the opportunities moving forward tomorrow. So that being said, as always, collect your profits when they're given to you. Protect your losses when they are small. Until next time, retire young, my friends.